Hi guys, Halina here, and today I'm going to be taking a look at Screen Rant's Once Upon a Time 15 major problems that fans don't want to admit, so stay tuned. Okay, so it's been a little while since I've done a Once Upon a Time video, and I figured, why not? So, as I was searching for Once Upon a Time on ScreenRant.com, I came across an article of 15 major problems that fans don't want to admit. So, I mean, let's take a look at the 15 major problems and see how many of them I can admit to. I guess. Number 15. The timeline is a mess. Well, I don't know who's having a hard time admitting that that is a problem. Honestly, Once Upon a Time timeline, in like the first season was complicated, and then it only went downhill from there. And then season 7 really just screwed with everything. So, I mean, who is having a hard time admitting that the timeline is a mess? So far we're not off to a good start. Number 14, Rumple was abusive for way too long to ship. Yeah, no, I can see the Rumple fans defending it. I particularly wasn't a fan of Rumple, so I don't really have a problem admitting it. But yeah, I mean, Rumple was always trying to control Belle and just manipulating her and all that. So I mean, yeah, it was an abusive relationship from the start, and it didn't really get any better. Number 13, creepy age differences in many romantic relationships. Yeah, I really do love how they put Hook and Emma in the picture. Yeah, there is plenty of creepy, insane age differences. But then again, with the timelines being a mess, who knows how old anybody is. So maybe it's all normal. I don't know. But I think we can, at the very least, acknowledge it, whether we still ship the characters together. I think we can somewhat acknowledge that, yeah, Hook being a 300-year-old pirate and Emma being in her 30s is not ideal. But, yeah, I mean, I have no problem admitting that there is a creepy age difference between most of these characters. So, number 12. Rushing true love. I mean, okay. Here's what I will say about the true love in Once Upon a Time. Yes, it's rushed in many occasions. But they are taking fairy tales a lot of times, redeveloped by Disney, and I mean, Disney's no better at rushing the true love, so I mean, do as I do, not as I say. I think that's the saying. I don't know. But, yeah, they're pulling from Disney, and Disney is true love at first sight. And it's problematic a little bit, but, I mean, take it from source material, I guess. Number 11, rushing redemption. Okay. This is a tough one because I feel like some characters took a lot longer to redeem than others. I feel like Hook was probably the most rushed because they wanted Hook and Emma together. Arguably, I think, yeah, every redemption that happened was a little rushed. Regardless of how long it actually took to get down the path of redemption. But yeah, I think redemption did kind of come a little bit rushed for a lot of characters. Number 10, no one ever found out that Regina killed Graham. Well, we all kind of forgot about Graham, so no, I mean, it would have been really interesting to see what would have happened if they found out that Regina killed Graham. I think definitely it would have been a different reaction had it been, right after or like season 2 of Once Upon a Time versus later on when Regina was redeemed, if you want to believe that she was. Yeah, I think. I mean, personally, I never really liked Graham that much to begin with. So for me, I don't necessarily care that Regina actually killed him, but I mean, I guess it's a problem for some people, but it's just not really a problem for me because he was sort of a, minor-ish character, and then he got killed and nobody mentioned him again. So, yeah. Um Number 9, poor resolution of the Emma Regina relationship. What does that mean? Um because like I literally don't know what that means because Emma came in to the show really disliking Regina because she thought Regina was being like cruel to Henry and everything like that. But I mean, Regina's redemption happened and Emma saw the good in her. I think Emma could have been a little bit more angry about a lot of things, I guess, because she was raised an orphan because of what Regina did. But yeah, overall, I think in time Emma should have forgiven Regina. I think maybe it means that it was resolved too quickly, that they became friends almost too quickly, but I mean, they had Henry to worry about, and Henry, in season 1, he didn't like Regina, and then he kind of started warming up to Regina again, so as co-parents to Henry, they had to kind of put their differences aside and put him first. So I mean, I don't even know I don't even know what this means. So yeah, we're gonna move on. Number 8, moving through villains too quickly. Oh, that is so true for season 7. Season 7 had way too many villains. Moving through villains too quickly. I think some of the villains dragged out way too long. And some of them just like were blink and you miss it type villains. I mean, there's a lot of villains to play with, so I can see them wanting to sort of go through the villains at a pretty rapid pace so that they can get in as many villains as possible. I think a lot of the villains did have sort of their arc. I mean, it was a little, quick, but they had a beginning, a middle, and an end for the most part. Yeah, I don't know. Number 7, abandoning many intriguing storylines and characters. Now, I think we can all admit that this is a problem. Once Upon a Time introduced so many fascinating characters and did absolutely nothing with them. I think Mulan really got sort of the short end of the stick with that. But even like Maleficent and Lily, like they had so much to work through and so much that we could have seen play out on screen and we didn't, and I am still kind of mad about that. So yeah, I don't have a problem admitting that one. Number 6, traveling between realms. Like, okay, the traveling between realms is an interesting one. Because very early on, it was established that nobody could leave Storybrooke. If they crossed the line of Storybrooke, they would essentially lose all memories of who they were. And we saw that with one of the dwarves, I can't remember which one. We saw that with Belle for a minute, and I can't remember if we saw that with anybody else. But yeah, it was very much like, if you cross the line, you are not going to remember who you are. You are not going to remember anything. So yeah, there was that. And then we had Rumple use like the scarf, I think because it had emotional connection or some random excuse that he gave that allowed him to go to New York with Emma and Henry. Um, and yeah, and then after that, it was just sort of like, oh yeah, like we can go back to the Enchanted Forest that doesn't exist, and we can go and we can pick up other characters along the way. Like, it really did become kind of a chaotic mess with the traveling between realms, but I didn't hate it because I loved visiting all the different realms. Number 5, inconsistent rules of resurrection. Yep. Robin's still dead. Hook was brought back. Not sad. No, I mean it's really just a matter of, oh well, fans like this character and we killed them off, so let's bring them back. And then it's like, oh no, this character story's done, so they're gonna stay dead, and it's like, maybe work on that a little bit. Yeah. Number 4. Why don't Rumpelstiltskin and Henry have more of a relationship? That is a good question. I think a lot of it probably has to do with the fact that Rumple was, completely evil. But, I mean, what we did see with them, especially in the New York story, it was really sweet. Rumple really seemed to have sort of this, like, soft spot for Henry, like, and then, yeah, of course, like, there was issues, obviously, but, they had some pretty, sweet bonding moments, but I think it's one of those things, like, when you look at Henry's, like, grandfathers, you have literal Prince Charming, and then you have Rumpelstiltskin, and, it just seemed to be, like, the easy route to throw him, towards, David instead of towards Rumple, and I'm really kind of sad about that. I never really thought about that until it, like, showed up on this list, and I'm like, that really is kind of sad. Number 3, cringeworthy CGI. It's TV CGI. Yeah, I mean, it is cringy. I will full on admit that it is pretty cringy. But I think Once Upon a Time in Wonderland had worse CGI than Once Upon a Time did, so I guess I can give it a pass a little bit, but yeah, I mean, it was pretty bad in a lot of parts. Some parts looked really good, but other parts it was like, nope. Hades' hair did not work. Number 2. Why is Neals' New York City apartment still unoccupied years later? That is a question everybody has been asking since it happened. Yeah, it seems really odd that in New York City, especially, that an apartment could just be vacant for, like, decades. It's like, how does that happen? Like, how does an apartment stay vacant in New York City? Like, I want somebody to literally answer that for me, because I don't think it would. Yeah. Number 1, Selena assaults Robin Hood. I mean, who is having problems admitting this? The woman poses as his dead wife, and she sleeps with him. So, therefore, assault. Who is having trouble admitting this? I'm telling you, we got through all 15, and I'm questioning what this list even is anymore. Like, there's some things that are just facts, and then there's some questions, and a lot of the facts are just like, who is having trouble admitting these things? Like, I think we're having trouble trying to figure out these things, like the timeline and all that, but I don't think we're having trouble admitting that the timeline's a mess. I don't see anybody having trouble admitting that Selena assaulted Robin. I don't know, but that was the list, I guess. Let me know, what problems do you have with Once Upon a Time? And have you brought them up to other Once Upon a Time fans and they just don't seem to want to admit that it is a problem? I don't know. Let me know in the comments down below. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. Click the notification bell so you be notified when I upload my latest videos. Follow me on all the socials. The link is in the description down below. And I will see you all in another video. Bye, guys.